Hello everyone. So I am back with another book review, and that is 1984 by George Orwell. So I read it in June, but I couldn't film the review. Here is my some sort of literary analysis and review, where I would be giving the journal review also, as well as stating some literary theories to enhance its meaning. Like we will discuss how this book deals with the psychoanalysis, Marxist theory, and the gender theory in this book. So first of all, as far as my experience with this book is concerned, it was a wonderful read by Orwell. I read Animal Farm, and after that, immediately I read 1984. And compared to Animal Farm, I sort of had some more expectations from 1984. Frankly speaking, it was a good read. It was an eye-opening read, but I gave it 4 stars because I somehow like did not enjoy it that much. Uh, in Animal Farm, there was still somewhere there was still a little bit hope, but 1984 is completely dystopian novel. And as far as the term dystopian is concerned, I would like to define it that dystopian novels are the novels which has a plot which develops but in a very negative way. So instead of having a positive upbuilding progress and development, we have a degrading and demolishing development. And that's what happens with readers when they read dystopian novels. Their hopes, their wishes of having a natural happy ending demolishes. And yeah, so I kind of had high hopes with this book, which is it justified, but I just was not satisfied with the ending. So let it be. As far as the length of this book is concerned, compared to Animal Farm, this is double the length of the Animal Farm. So Animal Farm was only 150 pages long, and this is around 300 plus pages long. But as it was with Animal Farm, that it was a gripping tale and you just flew through it. At least it happened with me. Same as with 1984 also. There are some phases where you feel like the pace of the novel is getting a little stretchy, but still it is a very fast-paced novel. It has a very easy and wonderful writing style, so even beginners can read it. Yes, there are some troubling, some frustrating things. Similarly, there are some strange concepts which would take you as a reader some time to get a hang of it. But once you get the grasp of this world of Oceania, you kind of start going easy. As the plot and main characters are concerned, we have Winston in this novel, who is the main character of protagonist, and we are viewing this world of Oceania where Winston lives uh, through the eyes of narrator who is observing Winston's life. So we are getting a glimpse of Winston's life through narrator who is omnipresent, just like the big brother in this novel. So the very famous quote or line from this novel is "Big Brother is watching you," which is a symbolic line and which refers to the modern world surveillance systems where we are always under surveillance of something or the other, whether uh, it's your neighbors or your government or media. So you think you have a private life, but actually you don't. So Big Brother is always watching you. And now let's just move towards the other concepts. And in these concepts only, we will figure out about the novel and the themes. So what happens in this novel is the basic plot of this novel is Winston is an employee in the Ministry of Truth, where ironically his works is of forging the records. Yeah, because he works in records department. So his work is to manipulate the records to create an intended reality as per the wishes of the government or the uh, omnipresent one-centered power of Oceania. So he works in the Truth Department, the Ministry of Truth, to generate the false. And same as with other ministries, also there's Ministry of Love, which works uh, to conduct hate week, so that people in this country are aware of their enemies, who are sometimes Eurasia or sometimes East Asia, and Oceania is always at war with these two continents. and it depends on the scenarios where when and which anime uh, is to be portrayed uh, in newspapers or media. Yeah. So, by this description, you might have gotten some idea that this is a very strange book. But then at the same time, it will give you moments of skepticism and to think that, wait a second, is it not like true with our own realities or so-called realities of the world in which we also are living? I mean, the way people are controlled, the way they are overworked or made to work for more hours so that they won't have enough energy to think about the conditions of their life, to get aware of the hardships they are dealing with, and their everything of their life is like being monitored and controlled by the higher power. Everything from their personal life, like their relationships, their family, their friends, their neighbor, their own likings and dislikings, their clothing, in fact their thoughts. Yes, in this book there are two terms which are used. One is thought policing, and second is thought crime. So if you are caught caught as in not just by like foolproof evidence, by your facial expression or any small tidbits also, if you are caught thinking against government or thinking a bit against the big brother who is the center of the power structure in Oceania, if you are caught doing anything against it, you will be caught by thought police, and the outcome of it would be very terrible, which Winston, our protagonist, goes through by the end of this novel. And there are some other aspects also, like it happens in our society also, where like in corporate world, people are expected to work more than 10 hours, 12 hours, 14 hours, work like slaves, are expected not to have any contact, any like human contact with or relationship with your colleagues or anything. Same as with in this world, like people go to their office just to do their work, and they are not supposed to talk to their colleagues or visit their friends home or anything. Like they are literally dehumanized, robotic human beings. So this book is full of ironies and oxymoron. There's a term also in their language where government tries to demolish all the concepts available in the previous language, which is English, and they are trying to create a new language which is known as Newspeak. And this creation of the new language also has some linking in psychology of human being and cultural influence, because as you can see through history also, whenever some invader tries to attack some country and tries to colonize them, they firstly attack their culture and their literature. And same happens here also. There's no literature left of the past, and if in case they are available, they are available in the new language, which is Newspeak. And in this new language, many dictionaries are being developed, and in those dictionaries, the basic purpose of dictionary, which is to create and provide new words for new expressions, is not followed, rather expected. Ironically, these dictionaries are here to lessen the expression in the language, so that people won't have any expression, they won't have any thought, and there won't be any thought crime. So even if this generation who is going through this transition phase where these things are being implemented, which we are observing in this novel, these people have two realities: one which they know that had been true, and second which they know that which is made or made to look true. Like Winston itself, he works in the records department. He himself forges documents and manipulates facts, and he's aware of the reality that I am creating a false reality. There is some real reality, true reality. So these people have a consciousness which is known as double think. Double think is a consciousness where you are aware of a reality. Still, you choose to believe that no, there is no reality, there is B reality, which is supported by the government or the center of power also, and which is said to be built. So this is a very complex world, and therefore I said that we will need to analyze it a bit through the lens of psychoanalysis and Marxist angle also, and from gender consciousness also. So let's start with psychoanalysis. Many things in this novel are psychologically driven. People's lives are controlled. How a sense of patriotic feeling, if I may call it, is imbibed or generated in human beings from childhood itself. So much so that even little children can call out their parents if they are seen or thought to be against government. And there is no concept of family bonding or anything. Parents might still be attached to their children, but no, children are just some agents of thought police. So there is no family structure as far as our feelings or psychological uh, bonds are concerned. Similarly, there is no concept of friendship, love, marriage. Everything is governed or controlled by the center of power. People are tied in the bond of marriage just for the sake of producing children, vis-a-vis thought police agents or government agents. And there is no concept of love. Love is by the Ministry of Love is himself itself. Love is considered a crime against government. So basically, all the feelings, all the natural human feelings and instincts are being controlled. You can't even show your true expressions on your face. You need to have a deadpan or poker face all the time. Otherwise, you will be caught. You won't be given any time to justify your thoughts, because only to have thought is a crime. It will be against government. The very act of thinking is a crime. And you even think of living in a world where you can't dress up as per your wish. You can't make relationships and friendships and family bond as per your wish. You can't have meals as per your wish. Everything is controlled by the higher power. As far as the Marxist angle is concerned, this book we see basically two classes, but we can still break it in three classes of the society. The lower strata of the society is those which like the poor, illiterate class of the society, who are just caught up with their daily problems, and they don't have any consciousness of revolt or their rights at all. They are just caught up with their daily lives, and they don't have time or energy or intellect to do anything about it, about the scenarios in the society. Second strata is the party members. Winston himself belongs to this strata only, but these party members' lives are controlled. So they, even if they have consciousness, even if they have that double thing uh, scenario, they can't do anything at all. They are rigidly controlled. Their lives are rigidly controlled by the high power. And then there is the inner party members, which is the top hierarchy of the society. And these are the people who are controlling the other classes. So why would they want to have any change in their society or have any revolt or revolution at all? So this is like the so-called bourgeoisie class. So why would they want any revolt or any change at all? Because every situation is like beneficial for them. So from Marxist angle, we see in this book how everything is ideologically controlled. And as Karl Marx himself said, that ideology is nothing but false consciousness, and we see it in reality in this book. That yes, everything in the lives of the people which we encountered in this novel is effective, is in a way is just a false consciousness. And even in our own lives, we think we are making a choice by eating what we are eating, or wearing what we are wearing, but actually it is influenced by something or the other. So even everything in our life is ideologically driven. And even if when we think that we are making some conscious decision by own knowledge, but that knowledge itself is given to you by some source or the other. And that is why the records department exists in this now. That is why this language newspeak is being developed, because they are creating a certain kind of knowledge system. And by creating that certain kind of knowledge system, they are providing certain kind of setup for thinking also. So in this way, we see how ideology plays with our lives, how it engulfs human being and we don't even realize it. Then from the aspect of gender theory, we can see how the center of power only wants uh, dehumanize humans who can contribute towards their agenda by being only labor force or workers. They don't want female or male. That is why they have neutralized the gender. They have they have banned makeup for women. Even men can't have their separate clothing or anything. Both of them are supposed to wear clothes which are suitable to the working of the government. And apart from clothes, also the aspect of, like in a relationship, the aspect of intimacy, sexual desires, or sensuality, or expression of love. These things are also considered crime. And similarly, in the relationship of child and parent, also one is not supposed to like express feelings openly, whether it is like maternal love or paternal love or anything. So in this way, we can see that even the natural biological instincts are also controlled, so that the energy which are needed to function with these instincts are channelized towards a better uh, agenda, which is to support government's propaganda. And that is why a special kind of hate week is celebrated, in which people are supposed to perform in those activities with such vigor, so that they would channelize these repressed feelings, emotions, or energy in that direction. And that's how they are using humans' basic energy system or emotion needs also. They want to channelize all kinds of emotions into this very one particular uh, emotion, that is hate, so that their propaganda is being made successful. And then we have some symbolic objects also in this book, like room 101. Big Brother himself is a symbolic. No one has seen him. Even there is some quoting in this book that Big Brother has been here, Big Brother is there, and he will be here. Because Big Brother is not an entity in itself. He is uh, the center of thinking uh, for the bourgeoisie class to control the status quo, so that the power is maintained for eternity. And there's a saying which was very impactful, is that one who controls present controls past and will control the future. And that's what happens in this book. And that is the main thing which I think George Orwell is trying to teach us also, that we should observe that how our present is being controlled. Is it controlled by us, or is it controlled by some kind of influence which we are not able to recognize or understand, even with our conscious brain? Because somehow subconsciously we are influenced, but consciously also we think that we are thinking consciously, but it is also influenced. So yeah, this is a very psychologically deep book, even politically very thought provoking book, because it has some references to Stalin's Moonlight, and obviously it was written in 1940 in 1949, just after the World War. So it obviously refers to those scenarios of the society and the world also. So it is a wonderful book. It might get a bit heavy sometimes, because 300 for 300 pages you are reading every sort of thing, and you start to feel a bit frustrated and negative, because obviously it is a dystopic novel, so you are not being shown any glossy picture of the future, or the present at all. So yes, but sometimes I think, from my personal experience, I've learned now that sometimes bleak realities are also nice to be read, because that's how the world is. You can be positive, but you need to see both good and the bad, or the light and the dark. And actually, there's no binary. Everything is like shades and shades and shades of gray. Uh, there are like mixed layers of colors, not even blue. So yeah, I think these books should be read at least once in your life, because it somehow provides you with a balanced viewpoint and perspective. And this is it. I think this is going to be my longest video. I like to do critical analysis for the, but they generally tend to get long, and I don't think it is like finest. Still, I tried my best. However, I will try to do some more critical analysis of some more books, so that I would get the hang of it. Yeah, thanks for watching. And do read this book, and do let me know in the comment sections what you learned from the book and what are your perspectives about it. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.